All right, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You got one? All right. Thank you.
Okay, my name's John Madden. I live at 28 Grant Street. Been up here a couple of times before. Actually, I was just going to run through a quick timeline. You have that in your packet, just based on, the issues that I've been bringing up and things that have come up in the meetings, just because I think it's relevant to the process. So on June 14th was the first meeting that I attended about the speeding on Grant Street. There was a request for the speed regulation measures on Grant Street. There was, at that same meeting, I want to bring this up because this is relevant, there was the issue of public response, to the meeting public response structure, what we're doing right now, the 5-minute limit, no rebuttal, that type of thing that was raised. She also raised the issue around crosswalks for students and other safety issues that concern the Morris School District. On 6/28, it was the second meeting that I attended, and I expressed my appreciation for a timely response with 25-mile-an-hour speed limit signs. And I did add some more detailed requests for speed regulation on Grant Street. The mayor requested that I did put this in writing, and I did on 7/1. I sent a request via email to the town. I also sent a separate email to one of the councilwomen regarding student safety concerns. On 7/21, the engineer's study and report was completed for the Grant Street, speeding regulations. And on 7/26, and I think this is significant, crosswalks in the neighborhood were repainted, but not a new one crossing Grant Street at Cleveland, which is really the one that I'm asking for, is a new crosswalk going across Grant Street at Cleveland. Maybe that will be done at another time, but that was not repainted. On 7/28, I did receive that engineer's report so I could go through it. So my intention tonight is to ask two questions and then to quickly address the engineer's latest report on Grant Street, followed by offering what I think is a pretty simple solution. So question one actually deals with the format of the meetings, and so what is the most efficient way to bring up requests, complaints, suggestions, and solutions to the town council and get a respectful, timely response, and then to get action? To wait for town council meetings to only have 5 minutes to speak and then to not be able to follow up in the moment is, to use Ms. Barrick's words from another article, a glacially slow process. On the other hand, emails do not get responded to unless the issue is brought up at council meetings. So there's kind of a catch-22. So I'm just looking for the most efficient way to resolve these things, to have an intelligent discussion about them, and to move forward. Question number two, what's the status of the student safety concerns around crosswalks? There was also busing raised. I'd like to get an update on the student crosswalk and safety issue that I brought up, that was brought up on 6/14, as I never got a response via email. And before addressing the engineer's report of 7/21, I'd like to explain what's in your packets. My initial email request, the engineer's report, drawings to visually assist with my proposed solution for speeding on Grant Street, and a few pages from the book Traffic Calming State of the Practice, which was loaned to me by Councilman Armington in order to do some more research. Originally, I was going to get into a detailed critique and refutation of the engineer's report. However, there just isn't enough time, and I suspect such an approach might be counterproductive. Instead, I'd just like to say that after nearly a month of waiting, the report seemed a little bit incomplete, dismissive, and condescending. I was extremely frustrated, as it seems that the engineer didn't clearly read my observations or suggestions and instead addressed issues that were either irrelevant or never raised by me. Finally, he seemed to suggest that despite the concerns of 100% of the residents, that speeding is not really an issue and/or is a problem that can't be solved. Instead, I'd like to thank Councilman Armington for respectfully acknowledging my concerns and frustrations, agreeing to meet with me on Grant Street, and loaning me the book Traffic Calming State of the Practice. I am prepared to make a much more detailed and lengthy persuasive argument that offers simple, cost-effective solutions to the problem of speeding on Grant Street. If the town is not prepared to act upon my solution here and now, which I suspect it is not, then I would respectfully request a more lengthy meeting and dialogue with the mayor and/or town engineer. My solution is this, and you can refer to it's the last drawing in your packet. It's the back page. Install the new pedestrian crosswalk across Grant Street from the left corner of Cleveland Street, where there are already existing curb cuts. It was unclear from the engineer's report whether this would be done or if he was referring to the existing crosswalk across Cleveland Street. So I'd like a confirmation on that. Also, update the existing ramps as per code. This was mentioned as a priority in the report that needs to be done around town, so we could be doing this as we put in this new crosswalk. Add required signage for the pedestrian crosswalks as mentioned in the report on the sign pole at the crossing on Grant and Cleveland, and add yellow slow caution sign. In addition, and this is something that came out of the traffic calming practice book, add an 8 to 10 foot neck down at the crosswalk a la Mill Street, what you've done at Mill Street, and handicap ramp on the right side of Grant Street. This corresponds with the parking lane on Grant and marks the transition from two-way traffic to one-way traffic. If the engineer prefers, the use of 4 to 5 foot neck downs on either side could be used as an alternative. Either way, it would mirror similar additions recently made to Mill Street. In addition, a 4-foot choker should be added down near the speed indicator sign. This could be a permanent installation or a planter used on a trial basis. Grant Street is a 24-foot wide for its whole length. This means that the two-way section has 12-foot lanes. Sections of Harrison have nearly 10-foot lanes, which is pretty narrow. The one-way driving lane of Grant Street is 16-foot wide, which would allow for a 4-foot neck down or a choker, whatever we want to call it. The engineer's report said that Grant Street is too narrow for horizontal traffic calming measures. This simply isn't true. The addition of neck downs and chokers would leave it at least 12 foot wide for a driving lane. So that's my solution. I have other solutions, but that's the one I want to focus on. And I welcome discussion meetings in the future to resolve this problem, as it is a problem, whether it's acknowledged or not. And before I finish, I just want a quick shout out to Farmer Sean. He's a great guy, and he has fantastic musical taste. So,
Mr. Madden,
thank you.
would you put your phone number and email address? Sure. I'm going to have the engineer schedule a meeting with you personally, so we can address your issues.
Shelley and I'd like to be involved in that.
Yes.
All right, you can come up. I think he's, yeah. Whatever you like.
Hi, my name's Judy Byard. I live at 37 Overlook Road, and the last name's spelled Bayard. I'm here because I heard that the leaf blower ordinance or proposal was tabled, and I was hoping that you all would reinstate that. Today, we had to hear all that noise 3 times from the golf course at about 7:15. Then they came back to the area right near our house for like a half hour to blow an area with very few leaves. And then at 6:10 down on Ogden. But the noise carries so far that, it's just, it really messes up our quality of life. And there's really not much to blow at this time of year. We haven't even used our leaf blower at all since last, maybe the first week in December. And I know there's talk about the electric leaf blowers, that the cost would be passed on to the clients. But I find that a lot of this leaf blowing is so excessive. For example, someone near me, nearby neighbor, they did the blowing for about 2 hours in April, and they just had a very small pile, maybe fit into a 20-gallon container, and they blew all the way from the back all the way to the front for 2 hours, and they could have just, with their big riding mower, just cut the grass and not even have done this. So they probably charged the neighbor, a good amount of money for that. And I just don't think they're hurting. And I know someone said that they said they would take their business away from Morristown, but a lot of companies say things like that, but they don't do that. So, and let's see, there was something else I was going to say. I was just wondering if any of you have ever had a complaint that someone had grass clippings on their sidewalk or in their driveway, or, a few leaves, sticks, flowers, or seeds from trees. That if anybody on the council, the mayor's office, has ever had a complaint about that, or are the complaints mainly about the noise from leaf blowers? So I would like you to think about that, and I would really appreciate if you could reconsider this ordinance. It's a great idea. There's really not much to blow between June and September. It's just really not necessary. And these landscaping companies, they're doing quite well. They can afford an electric leaf blower that costs $300. So anyway, I hope you can do that. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, go on.
Hi, my name is Stuart Warming, W-A-R-M-I-N-K, also 37 Overlook Road. When we were at the last meeting, we heard all these scare tactics from landscape companies saying, they're going to leave the area. Well, last time I looked, there were many landscape companies all over town, and I just can't imagine that they're all going to leave. I mean, just think about some of the other towns like Montclair that have done that. You're not going to tell me there's no landscaping companies left there. And also there was another scare tactic that, constituents are going to be forced to buy expensive electric leaf blowers. Nobody's forcing anybody to buy a leaf blower. There's no demand from the town that people have to have leaf blowers every month of the year. That is just not required. If you really want to get rid of some debris on your sidewalk or whatever, you can use a broom. They're inexpensive, they don't use energy, they don't pollute, they're always available, and they're good exercise too. And people might say, we have the right to use a leaf blower. What about the right of the residents to enjoy some peace and quiet and enjoy clean air? And there's plenty of ordinances in town that restrict the rights of residents, and for much lesser things that wouldn't impact so many residents at all. So I don't understand why this is not even going to be discussed. I'm very disappointed. You take a step back, Who's this town for? It's for the residents. It's not for the landscaping companies or for some people who want to use a leaf blower to blow every little leaf off their driveway. It's for all of us, for all the residents. And we've got to think about the mess that these leaf blowers make. Not just the noise, but also just the pollution from their two-stroke engines, the dust they blow up in the air. That's, by the way, especially this time of the year, that's just sand that can give you silicosis. That's, nasty stuff. And all the chemicals and pesticides that are on the lawns, they all get blown in the air. People breathe them in. Who knows if that gives people asthma or not, or other diseases? You just don't know, but it can't be good for you, all that stuff. So I guess if this thing is going to be tabled, which I please reconsider you tabling this. I didn't know which the ones you read off at the beginning of this was. You read off a bunch of numbers. I don't know which one it was, but I assume it was one of those.
It was 020.
Okay. So I hope you reconsider that. And I think the residents deserve at least to see a record of the voting on this issue as well, which I guess if it's tabled, there won't be a record of the voting, which I think is very disappointing. So I hope you'll reconsider. Thank you.
Anyone else? Mr. Burns.
Good evening. My name is Bill Byrne, and I live at 100 Franklin Street. And I like to share tonight. I just got an email yesterday, and my brother Mike called me up. I was out. My brother Mike called me up and said, "Hey, Bill, I'm just calling you to go over your emails. And by the way, I just got nominated again for the Colleen Frazier Advocacy Award, which I won, and I'll be getting that September 22nd. They're going to have a luncheon. Unfortunately, I can only bring one person, one guest, so I'm bringing my support staff so that they can see what goes on in the advocacy. And so it's something I wanted to share with the community of Morristown, who's been like very supportive, and people with disabilities, especially with the special needs housing and so forth. And Morristown is really a great town. So I just really appreciate that I live in Morristown. Thank you.
Hello, council members. My name is Daniel Arias. I'm from 71.
Could you repeat your name, please?
Daniel Arias, Arias.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I live at 71 Western Avenue. I am the owner of Cultivate Skate Shop. I'm not sure if you guys, how are you guys doing?
Good.
So I am actually here to discuss about the skate park that the town has not been able to do at any point. I was here a couple years ago, and we did start a petition. We restarted a new petition, and now with the skate park, the skate shop here, we have a lot more grounds to like show you guys that skateboarding is a very popular sport, and it's not just something where kids go to, do weird things. It's a sport where kids go and they have fun. They're able to do so much with it, and it's now in the Olympics, and it's really becoming super big. And Morristown is by far one of the biggest destinations for skateboarders. I believe about like 10 years ago, there was actually a skate show by the Hyatt. There was a couple pros, Mike Vallely, Ed Templeton. It's on YouTube if you guys ever want to go check that out. So my whole purpose is to see what we can do to actually get this on the roll and to actually take this more serious rather than just, hey, another kid coming up here to just say, let's get a skate park. And I do think it is time. I would like to guys give you my card because on here we have our petition if you guys want to check that out. There's a QR code there. So, one more.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So there is quite a lot of community engagement when it does come to skateboarding. I do want to say that skateboarding is a super healthy way for kids to, do sport besides just the regular football, baseball, basketball. It's very inclusive. It doesn't matter what type of music you listen to. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter if you're a girl or a boy. Skateboarding is by far, I think, one of the most beautiful sports, and I would absolutely love to see how we can actually make this happen rather than just another guy coming up here for a skate park. I do have a couple options because I think last time I came, you guys asked where a park could be. So a spot I looked at was Elliott Park. There's a spot next to the tennis court that's not used. Also in front of Speedwell Lake. I think it was repurposed for like a soccer, but it's all like it's all dirt now. So that could be another spot. And yeah, in terms of fundraising, I was trying to have a fundraising event this Sunday, but unfortunately I was denied from it. So, we could also sponsor those later on. I don't know if you guys know Timothy O'Connor. He graduated from Morristown High School. He is a professional skateboarder. He rides for Habitat Skateboards. And another thing is it's called Street League Skateboarding. It's a huge competition. He's an announcer for that. So he's very willing to come up here. So I can give him a call and he'd come up here the next town council meeting and come up here with me. So, if you guys could just please help me out, let me know what are the steps I need to take, and then take it from there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bud Street. Bud Street.
Anyone else? Yes, come on up.
That's all they own down there, Bud Street. Put it in Bud Street.
I'll make it quick, just seconding the skate park on behalf of New Jersey Roller Derby, which
I'm
is in
sorry,
Morristown.
I'm sorry, your name-
My
your-
name is Rebecca, and I'm Rebecca Carger at 54 Bud Street. And I just wanted to second the
I'm sorry,
skate park-
Rebecca, your last name?
Carger, Karger. I'm also Mrs. Farmer Sean. So, anyway, I wasn't going to come up, but I just want to support the idea for a skate park on behalf of, sorry, I'll speak slower, New Jersey Roller Derby. We skate in the center of Morristown, and not only skateboarders, but also roller skate. Great activity. And when I was in high school, it was illegal to skateboard in this town, and I just think it's like a very healthy activity. So anyway, thanks.
Anyone else? All right, we will,
Councilman, we do have one hand raised online.
yeah, go ahead.
Miss Alice Cutler, if you would unmute yourself and then state your name and address to the record, please.
Yes, hi, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you so much. My name is Alice Cutler. I live at 36 Collis Avenue, right here in the great town of Morristown. I'm speaking on behalf as the president of the trustees of the Morristown Green. And for years, we've had a lot of issues with kids and skateboards on the green. And my sons were all skateboarders. I'm very supportive of it, but we don't want them on the green. So the gentleman who spoke advocating for a skateboard park, in any way that I can help him achieve that, I would be happy to support his efforts. We just really want to have a place, a safe place for the kids to skate, and preferably not on the green. In their enthusiasm, there's been damage to benches over the years and to our pudding stone bench wall. So any place that is not on the green, I would love to help see that come to fruition. So that's it. Thank you, and good luck to the gentleman in search of an appropriate place for a skateboard park. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cutler. Anyone else?
There are no other hands raised online.
All right. We will close the public hearing. All right, council responses to public hearing comments. First of all, Mr. Madden, you have your thank you for coming up. I appreciate the effort, and I think you're getting a meeting or so with the administration. Ms. Bayard and Mr. Warming, leaf blowers. So basically, when we started this, there was a very slim majority, 4-3, and it has come to my attention that the fourth person is no longer in favor of it. So I don't see any point in bringing forth an ordinance that will fail. But I can tell you that Councilwoman Sandy Mayer, Councilwoman Tawana Foster, and myself are supportive of this. Tawana. What did I say?
Tawana Foster.
Tawana Foster. Tawana, sorry. Continue to support it, but again, we don't. It started off as a slim majority, and now it's a slim minority. And I'll let the other council members speak as to their reasoning if they so choose. I guess that's all I have for now.
Along the lines of the leaf blower ordinance, quite frankly, the difference in opinion falls solely on one issue, which is the issue of banning them during the summer months. Without that, I don't think anybody had any objection to limiting the use of leaf blowers during certain hours, but also limiting them during the summer months was a point of disagreement. We will be probably reintroducing it because I think with those modifications, we can successfully get it through council.
And to Mr. John Madden's comment, I was one of the council members who expressed the concern about safety for the younger children that's walking to schools. So I would like to be included in the meeting if that's going to be part of the discussion. If not, you and I can work. I'll get your contact information again from, because I know you just gave it to our business administrator, so you and I can set up an independent meeting just to discuss, some of the concerns and see how we can move forward. And I know at that meeting, we were looking, Mayor and Jillian, to establish like a meeting with the superintendent or the school board. So maybe we can revisit that just to try to see what we may be able to do to help assist with that safety concern.
Is that a question? Sorry.
You just want to be included.
Okay.
Right, and then I was asking because we were supposed to be scheduling a meeting with, I don't know if it was the school board or the superintendent.
The public safety director has been meeting with the safety department. And what we were reading was, I got an email from the public safety director this afternoon
Oh, okay.
about the school district adding additional bus routes to address the young students who were walking a significant distance and through dangerous routes. So it looks like they are attempting to rectify the situation for the September school year
Okay.
start.
What happened with the state? We were going to, because Speedwell's a state road, we were going to ask the state if they were going to provide busing. Did,
The state doesn't do that.
State doesn't do that.
doesn't do anything?
No.
Yeah, the-
And we'll cross
School
the dots?
district.
Yeah, and we were going to talk with the school district, and
And
I
they
guess we're
are.
doing the school. talk
Yeah,
with
and
the
they
school
are.
district,
Public
'cause the
safety
concern with the
director
road
is.
was actually,
Yep.
if you have a busy road, you can't allow the kids to.
Yeah, and I
cross
think
the
that's what the email that she got today, that
Yeah.
the business administrator got, was based on that information, that the school district is looking at every route, distance-wise and dangerous-wise, and adding more busing so those kids don't have to walk,
Yeah.
like,
Safe distance, right?
safe distance to walk to school.
We're also looking at redeploying school guards, as you all know, we've been heavily recruiting additional school crossing guards as well to try to address the safety issues with crossing.
In a particular incident that I referred, I did get information back from one of the school board members and told them, reported back to the family how they could send an email and who they could send an email to appeal the process in the meantime so that the kid could, potentially and hopefully get bused in September.
And I would certainly encourage anyone of you or any member of the public that knows someone that might be interested in being a crossing guard. We are always hiring good crossing guards. It's a great part-time job. So if you're interested, contact the police department.
Regarding the skate park, I know the administration has been supportive at least in
Those kids know me. They know me by face out there, and
in theory, the challenge is finding a spot. We've had some discussions with the township. I'm not sure how supportive they are. Looked at the county facility up at the
Greystone, the old Greystone site.
yeah.
The county would be.
See, the issue is not that. Look, I worked at the Prudential Center, and they built a skate park in 3 days for the ESPN skateboard championships. I've seen it firsthand. I've seen injuries firsthand too. So I don't think there's not injuries and insurance issues in this climate. However, the question I would pose to the owner of the skate shop, who I'll have an engaging conversation with, is the kids I talk to that are in the downtown, they like coming to the downtown because it's like, to them, they feel it's like city. And they get to ride around on their skateboards. And I don't think they would go to a skate park. I really think they would want to stay in the middle of the downtown. And because that's where they congregate. They congregate at Starbucks. They congregate in the Pioneers Plaza. They congregate behind 40 Park. You see them all over South Street. I don't know if a skate park, and I'm not saying it's not going to happen or it doesn't happen. We've been looking at it for years. Is we don't have a lot of land, obviously. We all know that. And then if you pose it into a park that's in a neighborhood, then the neighbors will come out and say they don't want a skate park. So it's not an easy task to do. But that would be one of my concerns. Because I talk to these kids. They come from Randolph. They come from Denville. They come from Dover. They come from all over to skateboard, to bring their skateboards into the center of town. They love being in downtown Morristown. These parents drop these kids off with their skateboards. And I like that because the parents feel it's safe, which is great, right? It's great. These kids feel safe. But, skateboard's a whole... I wasn't a skateboarder. My younger brother was. It's like a whole attitude. Like, for those who are skateboarders and stuff, they have their own culture, their own way about doing things. And I know you can't talk now, the public session's over. But we'll talk about it. We'll engage in conversations. And congratulations on opening the new store in Morristown. We appreciate you doing that. That's big for the people who do skateboard to have a store they can go to. So we appreciate that. And we will engage conversation with you and see what rabbit we can pull out of the hat and see if we can pull something. Well, maybe we'll have it in the back of Councilman Silva's church on Abbott Avenue. We'll make that a skate park. So if something happens, we go out and bless everybody and then have to worry about them falling or something. I don't know.
Just before you continue, anyone else have any responses to public hearing comments before we move on to the mayor's? About what? No.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mayor.
Before I bring up Farmer Sean, so we can get 3/4 of the crowd out of this council chambers, especially since we're still, whether we'd like to hear it or not, we're still in that COVID era, although they relaxed a lot of the stuff. I want to present this to the council president. This is another certificate of recognition for being a transit village. They're a little bit late. Our 20th anniversary was a couple of years ago, but they're just getting it out now, probably because of COVID. So I want to present this to you, Council President, for the council.
Thank you.
We're still a designated 20-year anniversary of our transit village, and we have a pending development behind the train station that the public will see hopefully shortly. I don't know what happens right now. So, saying that. Carry your next, only I fear you get a lot of
No, I know.
So now, let me see if I can get the last name right. Ananko. It's hard sometimes, we don't know how people say it. Ananko. Farmer Sean's probably the easiest way for me to do it.
Really is the way to go.
And it's really terrific to see everybody out here to support you. I met you a number of years ago.
Yeah.
So I'd like to read this proclamation into the record. There's a lot of things people do in their lives that are accomplishments. This is not a certificate of accomplishment. This is a proclamation. This will be in the history and the record books in Morristown forever. So 100 years from now, people want to see on this day who they proclaim to do something great for the town. You're it, buddy. As they did 150 years ago, they would be on the green, they would hold up a proclamation and read it out into the public, which is basically what we're doing here. So the public hears you, and the town will see what you've accomplished and what you mean to us as a community. Thank you. Okay, whereas lifelong Morristown resident Sean Ananko, Farmer Sean, in 2022 recipient of the Garden Club of America's Elizabeth Abernathy Hall Award in recognition of its outstanding achievements in furthering the early environmental education of children. Whereas established in 1992, the Hull Award provides 1,000 to chosen recipients who honor Miss Hull's common sense approach to environmental awareness by inspiring children under 16 to appreciate the beauty and fragility of our planet. Whereas for 11 years, Farmer Sean has served as the Director of Agriculture and Education as nonprofit Grow a Green in Morristown, where he connects community youth to nature through 1-acre urban farm dedicated to experimental education. Under his guidance, donations have grown by 170%. In the last 4 years, including to local food pantries to increase equitable access to fresh food. Whereas Sean has a degree in agribusiness from the County College of Morris and completed an internship with Morristown-based CSA at Valley View Farm. And whereas Sean has invested in the world of agriculture and beekeeping since 2007 and has delved into both practices, with an emphasis on treatment-free strategies for breeding strong, healthy bees and building a donor-funded, sustainable farm dedicated to education and food access. Sean teaches classes on a variety of topics, including the life cycle of honeybees and the regenerative urban farming practices. He has Beehive site in the Morristown Early Street Community Garden. Whereas thousands of students with local area, including the Morris School District, are familiar with Farmer Sean. I think the whole town is familiar with Farmer Sean. As he has created dynamic learning opportunities where he has makes the science of growing food accessible at any age or ability, fosters innovative ideas, shares food, and devotes his time to building a healthier and greener community. Now, therefore, I, Timothy P. Doherty, Mayor of the town of Morristown, do hereby proclaim August 16, 2022 as Sean Ananko Farmer Sean Day in the town of Morristown. We celebrate Farmer Sean for his dedication and commitment to making environmental education fun, accessible, and relatable for all ages. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody on the Zoom.
Stand here. She's going to get a picture for the website.
All right.
Cool. You know, the day you want Kevin from Morristown Green here, he's not here. Why don't you
right.
Why don't you say a few words? He'll get that picture.
So, yes, this is wonderful. Thank you all for, being with me on this wonderful journey of growing food and teaching kids about where their food comes from. Thanks my wife and my stepdaughter Naomi for, dealing with me when I come home silly, sweaty, and cranky about what I do for a job. And thank you, Growing Board and staff for just encouraging and inspiring me to do what we've accomplished so far. And then my friends who volunteered with me and help out whenever they can. And so, I'm really excited to have this award and be a part of this town. And come see us at the Urban Farm growing food. Thanks, everyone.
Pretty cool, right? Didn't know he did bees. Did everybody here know he did bees? Yeah. So you all know, did you guys all know he did bees?
Yes, we all knew he did bees, what?
They all came out
So,
of the original
I have to ask this before I bring Kara up.
Oh, nice.
Each want the
Bees,
box over
honey,
into the
Yeah,
box.
I need.
right? Where's the honey?
I'm not going to say beekeeping is easy. I've been doing it for a long time, but it's not easy.
So is it true that if you get honey from a local beekeeper and you take that twice a day and maybe in the mornings that help you with your allergies because it's natural? It is true.
Yeah, a lot of people say it.
Because, everybody's got allergies these days. Everybody's taking pills. I think maybe this natural honey might do the trick. So thank you on behalf of all of us who are in allergies.
What if it's Sean?
Yeah, unless you're allergic to bees. I don't think that'll do anything with bee honey, but there we go. Say hi, Kara.
Hey, Mayor.
Kara Parmigiani. And this is a proclamation on Women's Equality Day. So we're going to read this into proclamation, and thank you for coming here and accepting this on behalf of the community.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it.
And
Yep.
actually,
And thank you, Councilwoman Sandy Mayor, for putting this together.
You're welcome.
You ready?
yeah, I'm always ready.
All right.
Let's do it. Tough act to follow, though.
Yeah, I know. There's so many people, it's like I had to bring them up. I thought they would all leave, but they're all standing.
No,
I don't know
actually,
how.
if you would give me the grace. I went to Frelinghuysen with Sean. I knew him way back then, and I would just like to say, for the record, and I want this entered into the minutes, his taste in music has changed my life. His mixtapes on the bus were epic and remain a part of my life forever. So thank you so much, Sean Ananko, right? I know you. And really, you've changed my life with your music to this day. So thank you. So it's not just about the bees.
No, that's pretty cool. All right. Small world, right?
Frelinghuysen Middle School forever.
Yeah, all right.
That's right, everybody from Frelinghuysen. Okay,
We're
hit
never
it.
going to get out of here.
No. Hit it, Mayor.
All right.
Let's do it.
Women's Equality Day is a proclamation. Women's Equality Day, celebrated every August 26th, commemorates the passage of women's suffrage in the U.S. and reminds us of the hurdles overcome by heroic women who faced violence and discrimination to propel the women's movement forward. Whereas in the early 19th century, American women who generally couldn't inherit property and make half a man's wages in any available jobs began organizing to demand political rights and representation. Whereas on August 26, 1921, the U.S. Congress adopted the 19th Amendment, also known as the Susan B. Anthony Amendment, giving women the right to vote. I'll make a comment at that at the end, but maybe I'll stop in the middle. I mean, think about that. Women didn't have the right to vote. So anytime I see a woman, no matter what your party affiliation is and you don't vote, I get upset. Go vote. You didn't have the right up until this. So it's important, and this is important. Today, women continue the fight for equal rights. The wage gap between men and women still impacts women's economic power, and gender-based discrimination still plagues workplaces and business transactions. Whereas women are an essential part of the political, economic, and social fabric of our nation, and by recognizing that women contribute to the strength and security of our nation, supporting women and working families is a top priority. Now, therefore, I, Timothy P. Doherty, Mayor of the Town of Morristown, do hereby proclaim August 26, 2022 as Women's Equality Day in the Town of Morristown, and I call upon the members of our community to observe and to celebrate the importance of women's suffrage movement and the incredibly important work to secure and expand equal rights. Thank you all. Thank you, Kara. Okay, Chairman, say a few words.
Oh, yeah. I hope I won't crack the lens. No, yeah, get it.
Come.
Watch the cord. Well, this is an incredible honor. As we know, women's rights, equality, we're still not there yet. We've seen a repeal of Roe versus Wade. We see women not earning equal wages like other folks, and as the mayor said, our right to vote was even very recent. And how important it is for women, regardless of party, or folks generally, to go out there and vote. It's critical for our democracy that everybody be able to participate equally, and that folks, regardless of gender, are able to participate equally in sports, our culture generally, wages inequality, rights to health care, access to health care, and appropriate health care for everyone. And so thanks to the work of all of these pioneering women and all of these fantastic women that are up here and via Zoom, Tawana, I'd just like to say thank you so much for all of the women out here and all of the ally gentlemen, men who go out there and support women, like the folks that support Sean, and that we all go forward. And I know that times have been tough, but there is hope, and there are heroes out there in this world, and many of them are here in this room. So thank you so much for everything that everyone does, and let's keep those candles lit and keep working very hard to gain equality, not just for women, but for all in our lifetime. So thank you so much.
We're going to take a 5-minute break, so...
Stefan, can I say something before Cara and former Sean leave out? 8:24.
just now starting to feel.
All right, we're ready, I think. Are you ready?
Oh, sorry. Yes, sir.
Okay.
8:29. We are resuming the regular meeting.
Yep.
Recording in progress.
All right, we are back in the regular meeting of the Town Council. Thank you, Mayor, for proclamations, and thanks for the public who were here for attending. We're still in the Mayor's report. It's 8:30, 1 hour in. Keep going,
I
Mayor.
will get this done as fast as possible. July 13th, Face Foundry opened on 70 South Street. They had their grand opening, all-inclusive facial bar, includes facials, lashes, brows, and skincare. It's really a really cool place. The 14th, the Verizon held its corporate classic 5K. That one went pretty well. The 27th, revaluation public hearing went well. That'll be coming up time after time again. And 28th, Meet Me in Morristown was another success. Upcoming events, Friday the 19th, there is a free COVID-19 vaccine and booster clinic, 3:30 to 5:30 at 12 Flagler. For more information, you can call 973-486-4892. It's all posted, and the information's out there. On Thursday, August 26th, there will be another Meet Me in Morristown. Bale Mansion Vendors and Music. For more info, obviously, the liaison will talk about it. It's morristown-nj.org. Sunday, the 28th, free COVID vaccine and booster clinic, 89 Spring Street parking lot, 12:30 to 2:30. For more info, call 973-486-4892. And you know there's new guidelines out by the CDC on no distancing, those things, and I guess they're still trying to get as many people boosted and shot as they can. Numbers are way down. The latest report I saw from NJ, the numbers are down. 800 and something. It was lower than previously. September 3rd, Labor Day Jam at Caldwell Park, hosted by Steve Tillett, noon to 6. Monday, September 5th, Town Hall is closed because of Labor Day. September 15th, my birthday, in case you guys don't forget. Virtual, write that down. Virtual revaluation information session, Zoom meeting information can be found on the town website. All this stuff will be posted, Facebook, posted, Instagram, all of it out there. And Saturday, September 17th, please attend the Jazz and Blues Festival on the Green, noon to 10. I just want to, in ending, this is posted, it's out there. I know we had a fire. Oh, he's in the back? He's in the back? Become a Morristown firefighter. Hey, Captain. Applicants, all this is on there, what you need to be an applicant. The exam for civil service has to be applied for by the end of August 31st. Like I said, this is out there already, but I wanted to, again, publicly put it out there. The age is 18 to 34, high school graduate or equivalent of equivalency certificate, valid driver's license, Morristown resident by closing date of application, and U.S. citizen. It is a competitive salary. It's great medical and dental. It's great pension, and it's an opportunity for career advancement and serve the community that you live in. 18 to 34. So if you're 33 or 34 years old and you're thinking that you want to really do something different and have a 25-year career, become a Morristown firefighter. Nothing wrong with it. It's a great job. We have an unbelievable fire department. We have an unbelievable police department, too, in case the police I witnessed the other night, I was in my living room and I saw a light go by. And if you're on my street about 10 o'clock at night, and I swear this will be the last time I talk tonight, you'll see a light fly by, and it's usually the Morristown Parking Authority checking, because you guys passed that ordinance, so they check, make sure people have their tags, residential permit, so they actually are doing their job. But a different light went by, and I said, no, that's not the parking authority. That's either police or fire and ambulance. So I got up, walked in, there was 3 fire trucks, and they were there within seconds. My neighbor's dimmer switch I guess, smoked or, was heating up and smoked, and watch those guys jump into action. Because, those old homes built in the late 1800s or balloon construction, great foundations, but you don't mess around when there's any kind of smoke or any issue. But my neighbors came over to my porch. Can you go over see what's going on? I said, nope. You let them do their job, and if I'm still out here and they're done, they'll still walk by and they'll say something. And one of the firemen did and told me it was a dimmer switch and everything's fine. But they were there within, I don't know, man. You guys react like within minutes to get those street fire trucks there. It was unbelievable. So my hat's off to you guys, what you do every day. And I can tell you, he's nodding his head back there, but it is a great job, right? Yeah, it's a great job. So if you're thinking about a career in firefighting, I asked Jillian if I could take the test. And she said, I'm too old. And but I tell you what, they always say about hindsight, and you think about your life before and the choices that you make, and I don't regret any of the choices that I made in my life. But when you think about, wow, you know what I mean? If I made that choice at 25 or 30 or 22 or 21 and became a Morristown fireman, what a career. It's a great organization. It's great to be part of a organization that you can take with you your whole life and even after you retire. So take the opportunity if you're thinking about it. Go talk to somebody at the firehouse, 18 to 34. You can do it. And take the test and become a Morristown fireman. Thank you, Council President.
Can I just add one thing? For the Women's Equality Day on August 26th, which is a Friday night, 6:30, Town Hall front steps, we're having a rally just to celebrate that we were given the right to vote. We're having Loretta Weinberg from Bergen County, retired senator, come speak.
Was that on my thing?
I didn't get it on your calendar, I'm sorry. So I wasn't sure if it was going to be passed because it was voted on tonight. So anybody who would like to join us, we're having a rally outside just to celebrate the Women's Right to
Well,
Vote.
please, on my behalf, let them know I fully support. I will be
Do that.
fishing.
Okay. I think that's.
Thank you, Council President.
Sure. Moving on to council liaison reports.
Well,
Okay, moving on to.
No, I'll start. The Morristown Partnership doesn't meet in August, but their next scheduled board meeting is for September 14th. And just a friendly reminder that the registration for the Fall Festival, which will be held on the Green, Sunday, October 2nd, you can, for information, participation information, or registration information, you can email festival@morristown-nj.org. And also, I just wanted to share a flyer for an upcoming event. It's hosted and sponsored by the 5.7 Club, Bethsaida Chapter Number 7, and the Craftsman Club of Tyrian Lodge Number 34. They're having a back-to-school community book bag giveaway, which is going to be hosted on August 27th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. while supplies last, and it's going to be at the Bishop Nazarene Way Street parking lot next to Bethel AME Church. No problem.
Anyone else?
MHA meeting for August was canceled. Next meeting will be September 26th.
Stefan, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Perfect. So I'm going to read the report from Shade Tree Commission. But I just want to say that I'm not going to change the wording. So you're going to hear me refer to myself in third person because that's how it's written. Okay? All right. So the Shade Tree Commission, 3 town residents, and Councilwoman Cotton removed over 15 square feet of plastic weed suppressor around the cherry trees in Jersey Cottage Playground to give the trees the ability to deep root and thrive. We then mulch the area. There's more to remove, which we will do in the fall, and reseed with clover. The Shade Tree Commission continues to learn and update the tree plotter to assist Joe Curlow and the tree crew. The Shade Tree Commission and Councilwoman Cotton removed invasive vines around 2 sassafras groups found at the fence line of George Granby Park near the pollinator garden. We are creating the groupings. Sorry about that. The groupings were protected from deer to ensure their growth. Met with NJDOT to confer about the removal of Tree of Haven and the state right-of-way on Madison Avenue. We will coordinate with them next year for any other Tree of Haven removals along the state roads in Morristown. Completed the NJUCF grant and began filing the paperwork for reimbursement. We will announce when the tree inventory link is up and running on our town webpage for residents to pursue the town's 4,500 trees. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, if there's no more, we'll move on to regular business.
Okay, we have, 8 ordinances for introduction this evening. Ordinance O-22-2022, an ordinance authorizing the conveyance of 17 Orchard Street, Morristown, New Jersey, 07869, block number 3304, lot 9, owned by the town of Morristown, to Morris Habitat for Humanity, Inc.
I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance number O-22-2022.
I'll second it.
Any comments or questions?
Are these going to be 2 single-family homes? Do we know? Is this multifamily? It says 2 units. I wasn't sure.
No, it's a two-family house.
Oh, okay. So it's one building, 2-family house?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
on one
Thank
lot.
you.
Will these be part of our program for affordable housing?
Yes,
Okay.
we would get COA credits for the 2 units, yes.
Okay. On the introduction of ordinance O-22-2022, Councilman Cotton?
Yes.
Councilman Foster?
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mayer?
Yes.
Councilman Silva?
Yes.
Councilman Umbriak?
Yes.
Council President Armington?
Yes.
Ordinance O-22-2022 has been introduced properly by title and will be considered further after a public hearing on September 13th. Ordinance number O-23-2022, an ordinance of the Town of Morristown and the County of Morris, State of New Jersey, establishing compensation for certain officers and employees of the Town of Morristown.
I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance number O-23-2022.
I'll second.
Any comments or questions?
You know, I'll just make a comment. I reviewed this today with Jillian. It's great, but clarification is the agreement goes back to 2017, so we're doing retro to 2017.
That's the next one.
That's the next one, but if I take all 4 of these, I'll just make the comment on all 4, or you may want to do that,
I'm happy to summarize for everyone.
because I think it's important. It's a big accomplishment.
Yes. So there's 2 ordinances with corresponding resolutions on the agenda for you for consideration. Ordinance 23 goes along with resolution.
13722.
That sounds right. Yes. 137, which is the agreement with the firefighter rank and file. That's a 5-year labor contract for 2022 through 2027. And, sets and establishes their salaries for those 5 years. The second ordinance, which is ordinance 24, corresponds with resolution 138, which is for 243, which is the fire officers. Their contract's been out since the end of 2017, and we've been in somewhat protracted negotiations with their group. So this contract represents the prior years, which is 2018 through 2021, which aligns with the prior contract for the rank and file as well. So this will close out the old contract, and we would subsequently continue negotiations on a new contract, which hopefully we will close and you'll have before you for consideration sometime in the near future. Even though the contract would be for 4 years, the retro does not go all the way back. The retro is only for 1 year.
But I think it's also important to say the expense associated with it was all accrued.
Yes, it was set aside in the prior
And it was
year.
actually included in the relevant years of compensation.
Correct.
Which is important.
Great. Thank you. Any other comments on this ordinance, O-23?
Okay. On the introduction of ordinance O-23-2022, Councilwoman Cotton?
Yes.
Councilman Foster?
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone?
Yes.
Councilman Mayer?
Yes.
Councilman Silva?
Yes.
Councilman Umbriak?
Yes.
Council President Armington?
Yes.
Ordinance O-23-2022 has been introduced properly by title and would be considered further after a public hearing on September 13th. Ordinance number O-24-2022, an ordinance of the Town of Morristown and the County of Morris, State of New Jersey, establishing compensation for certain officers and employees of the Town of Morristown.
I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance O-24-2022.
I'll second.
Okay, on the introduction of ordinance O-24-2022, Councilwoman Cotton?
Yes.
Councilman Foster?
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone?
Yes.
Councilman Mayor?
Yes.
Councilman Silva?
Yes.
Councilman Umbreak?
Yes.
Council President Armington?
Yes.
Ordinance O-24-2022 has been introduced properly by title and will be considered further after a public hearing on September 13th. Ordinance O-25-2022, an ordinance of the Town of Morristown and the County of Morris, New Jersey, to authorize the purchase of real property identified as Block 4801, Lot 31, and located at 1 Morris Street.
I'll make a motion to introduce O-25-2022.
I'll second.
Any comments or questions from council? On the introduction of ordinance O-25-2022, Councilwoman Cotton?
Yes.
Councilman Foster?
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone?
Yes.
Councilman Mayor?
Yeah.
Councilman Silva?
Yes.
Councilman Umbreak?
Yes.
Council President Armington?
Yes.
Ordinance O-25-2022 has been introduced properly by title and will be considered further after a public hearing on September 13th. Ordinance O-26-2022, ordinance appropriating $400,000 from the Sewer Capital Improvement Fund for various sewer improvements in and by the Town of Morristown and the County of Morris, New Jersey.
I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance number O-26-2022.
I'll second.
Any comments or questions? On the introduction of ordinance O-26-2022, Councilwoman Cotton?
Yes.
Councilman Foster?
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone?
Yes.
Councilman Mayor?
Yes.
Councilman Silva?
Yes.
Councilman Umbreak?
Yes.
Council President Armington?
Yes.
Ordinance O-26-2022 has been introduced properly by title and will be considered further after a public hearing on September 13th. Ordinance O-27-2022, ordinance of the Town of Morristown amending Chapter 14, rent control, in order to impose a rent increase freeze on units subject to the rent leveling ordinance.
I'll make a motion to introduce O-27-2022.
I'll second.
Any comments or questions from council?
Yeah.
You know, on this one, I have a comment also. Actually, I reviewed this afternoon with Jillian, because I had some concerns about it, but I don't have those concerns any longer. One, there was a mistake with reference to the calculation, but the calculation, even in prior years, amounted to only 2 other years where the calculation may have been incorrect. And when you look at the dollar amounts, because we were playing with the dollar amounts, I think the correction that's being proposed here with the freeze for 1 year is a very fair correction of this process. And we'll just catch up with the corrected formula when we go into next year. So I think it's a good move. The reason why I wanted to say this is because I don't want the people in rent control apartments in our town looking at this and saying, I don't want nothing to worry. You know, I think this was, you guys did a good job reviewing the problem, handling the problem, and actually the solution you came up with, I think is a very good solution.
Appreciate those comments, Councilman.
I agree.
How many units are affected by this, that fall under this, do you know?
It would be all the rent control units that are located in town. I would know they.
Okay, that's fine.
On the introduction of ordinance O-27-2022, Councilwoman Cotton?
Yes.
Councilman Foster?
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone?
Yes.
Councilman Mayor?
Yes.
Councilman Silva?
Yes.
Councilman Umbreak?
Yes.
Council President Armington?
Yes.
Ordinance O-27-2022 has been introduced properly by title and will be considered further after a public hearing on September 13th. Ordinance O-28-2022, ordinance providing for certain capital improvements at the Morristown Municipal Airport by the Town of Morristown and the County of Morris, State of New Jersey, and appropriating
$7 million.
Oh, my math is not good today. $7,224,412, therefore, to finance part of the cost thereof.
I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance O-28-2022.
I'll second.
Any comments or questions from council?
We're going to see something next month, right? Good.
I have a question. According to these, the federal government will provide 90%, state 5%, and they will provide 5%. It says there that in case the state doesn't provide the 5%, they will do it. Is how they got oversee that they fulfill that?
I have a representative from the airport that can answer that question. Just turn the mic for you. Yep.
My name's Darren. I'm the Director of Facilities and Operations at Morristown Airport. I'm sorry, what was the question?
According to the arrangement is 90% provided by the federal government.
Correct.
5% by the state and 5% by DMA, right?
Correct, yep.
Okay. It says that in case the state doesn't give the 5%, you will provide, or your company will provide the other 5%. Who will oversee that happen?
Well, we would do it because we're not going to lose a 90% grant by missing out 5% on the state. So we would step up and do it, and we have done it in the past.
So you have to report to the federal government that...
Yeah, so the way that it would work is just like with our state shares and our federal shares, we would provide the 10% to the town of Morristown, who would then provide the check back that would go to the contractor. So everything has to go through the town of Morristown.
Okay.
So there will be a record of it.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
On the introduction of ordinance O-28-2022, Councilwoman Cotton.
Yes.
Councilman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilman Mayor.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Councilman Umbreak.
Yes.
Council President Armington.
Yes.
Ordinance O-28-2022 has been introduced properly by title and will be considered further after public hearing on September 13th. Ordinance number O-29-2022, ordinance amending Chapter 30 of the Code of the Town of Morristown regarding affordable housing to address the requirements of the Fair Housing Act of 1985 and the Uniform Housing Order affordability controls, and to comply with the town's third round affordable housing obligations.
Make a motion to introduce ordinance number O-29-2022.
A second.
Comments or questions?
Jillian, I think it's important that we, a question I asked with reference to clarifying with everybody the outstanding units satisfied and the units planned and the units remaining.
Sure. So there are an existing 737 affordable units in town based on our prior report. Our obligations, 227, of which 26 have been approved by the housing settlement element. We also have 40 units total that are approved by the planning board, 26 of which were approved are in the plan. So what is that? 14 go beyond the unmet need to prospective need, which is units that are not counted towards the 227. Did I confuse you yet? In addition, the redevelopment area, the number of units that are in the prospective project sites and redevelopment area total 84, and that's across the 5 redevelopment areas that are identified in the plan.
So the remaining units not in any plan actually only totals?
There's 201 in unmet need that we still have
That's
to
still
identify.
outstanding.
Yes.
And the total units that will have affordable in the town after it's all through is?
Define all through.
Well, you have the
If we-
737. It's a lot of units. It's actually something to be pretty proud of.
Right, I mean,
'Cause
so
what you're-
from the
what you-
201, like if we build, if all 84 units from the redevelopment area are built, then we'll have a little over 100 left.
Mhm.
So,
Over 800
a little over 100. A little over 100.
left. Okay. Good.
So,
Thanks.
it's not bad.
Plus the 737 plus the 227 is
227,
964,
right.
so.
964. Is that going to change again, do you think?
Well, this is the third round, which ends sometime in 2025. And then there will be a fourth round. And we go through this all over again.
And guess what? 5th round comes after the 4th round.
Yeah. So, but we're still going to focus on the third round right now.
Thanks.
Okay, on the introduction of ordinance O-29-2022, Councilwoman Cotton.
Yes.
Councilman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilman Mayor.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Councilman Umbreak.
Yes.
Council President Armington.
Yes.
Ordinance O-29-2022 has been introduced properly by title and is scheduled for a planning board consistency review on August 25th. The public hearing and adoption is tentatively scheduled for September 13th. We have one ordinance on the agenda for adoption, and that is ordinance O-12-2022, bond ordinance providing for various capital improvements in and by the town of Morristown and the county of Morris, New Jersey, appropriating $1.5 million therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $1,425,000 in bonds or notes of the town to finance part of the cost thereof.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance number 012, 2022.
I'll second.
I'll now open the floor for a public hearing on ordinance O-12-2022 only. Hearing no comments, I'll close the public hearing. Comments or questions from council? On the adoption of ordinance O-12-2022, Councilwoman Cotton?
Yes.
Councilman Foster?
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone?
Yes.
Councilman Mayor?
Yes.
Councilman Silva?
Yes.
Councilman Umbriak?
Yes.
Council President Armington?
Yes.
O-12-2022 is adopted. Excuse me. We have 16 resolutions for adoption this evening. Would members of council like to pull any for separate consideration?
I'd like to pull R-129.
Any others?
I just have one comment to make. I think it's real nice how Pioneer Plaza is coming to life, and how these restaurants are going over to Pioneer Plaza. Yeah, it's actually it's nice, because actually it looks like 2 new restaurants. Well, we'll see.
You're right.
It's nice. It's really nice.
That's what I pulled.
All right, I'll make a motion
Pioneer
to,
Plaza needed it,
Oh.
along with the renovation.
All right,
Good
Cindy, you'll
work.
get to talk too. I mean, Councilman Mayor. Okay, so I would ask for a motion to approve resolution numbers 126 through 128 and 130 through 141.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, on the adoption of those resolutions, Councilwoman Cotton.
Yes.
Councilman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilman Mayor.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Councilman Umbriak.
Yes.
Council President Armington.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution R-129-2022. Resolution approving the person-to-person transfer of plenary retail consumption license number 142-433-001-004 from Mo Sushi Inc. to HQ Hospitality LLC, and the place-to-place transfer of said license from 12 Schuyler Place to premises located at 3 Speedwell Avenue, Suite M114 in the town of Morristown.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution R-129, 2022.
I'll second it.
Okay, Councilman Mayor.
So I'm looking at the schematic, and unfortunately, Mr. Cochran left, but looking at this, there's seating outside, and there's like a bar seating outside, and I'm just wondering, are they required to have some kind of security so people just don't walk up to that bar? Because there's only like portable couches that would block that. So is that a requirement, or it doesn't matter? That's fine? Okay. Just,
I don't see why not. I mean, 1776 has a similar outdoor seating area, but they have
but they don't have a
physical
bar
barriers.
that has bar seating outside. They have just tables and chairs. This is literally a bar outside.
That's up to you guys.
That's what they're proposing in terms of the transfer. The actual design and layout of the actual property would have to go through planning board.
Oh, okay. Thanks. That was it.
You're welcome. On the adoption of resolution R-129-2022, Councilwoman Cotton.
Yes.
Councilman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilman Mayor.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Councilman Umbriak.
Yes.
Council President Armington.
Yes.
Motion carries.
That concludes the regular business. There's no unfinished old business. For Margot, all the new business has been tabled. Anything else?
No, I actually ran into the owner of Sushi Lounge this evening. They're very excited about expanding and how that place is becoming really alive.
Yeah.
Councilman Iannacone said, and I don't know if you might remember this, Council President, when they talked about.
Mayor, can you talk into the mic, please? I'm so sorry, I just can't hear.
We can't hear you.
He said, who's that?
Oh.
Is it on? Can you hear me?
There you
All right, there you go.
Yes, I can hear you now,
So
yes.
when we were going through the 1776 and the building, Sam Morelli, when he talked about how that's going to be a destination that when, that whole area is really coming to life. And I leaned over to talk to the business administrator really quickly and I said, how many years did we work on getting the Olnick and Fisher to work with us to get that Pioneers Plaza? You remember we had the space, the storefront, where we had people used to come in with the Post-its and put But, I mean, that's how far back it goes. We had
Brett Gensler.
we had a parklet.
my first year.
We had so 7 years ago.
Yeah.
We had a parklet in front of that. That's how long it took to get that whole thing put together. And Councilman Anacone just said it. It's come alive. It's another area of Morristown and the center of our town that is just going to be a dynamite area. And now Valley National corporate headquarters moving right down the street. Century 21 now in play with North Park Place. And what you guys just did tonight on introduction of the ordinance for the post office is you guys should be very proud of your legislative powers and what you've accomplished so far. So
Is there an
thank you
update
very
on
much.
North Park Place and Century 21?
Not yet. It's coming.
Well, he mentioned it. I figured I'd ask.
It's coming. They're working on it.
I'm good.
All right, motion to adjourn.
Coming soon.
I'll make a motion.
All in favor?
Second.
Aye. Meeting adjourned.